This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Tony Caranco, Tristan Howe, and your host, Wes Underwood.
It's that time again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's and Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. If you're in the mood for some fresh Cajun, head on over to Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin, across from Moe's on Main Street. And if you're in the mood for some wings, head on over to Jefferson's behind Books A Million on Rangeline. Wes Underwood alongside Tony and Tristan. And, welcome back, fellas. Lots to get to here.
Yep, yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
And on that note, we will open up in the NBA and talk Draymond Green. He gets a flagrant foul, number 2, in the Western Conference semis. And, he's quoted saying that he's never going to change the way that he plays. And, I mean, look, I love that he's old school. I respect that. I also get that it's the Warriors, and a lot of people target him in general. But I like the Warriors. Mainly Steph, Clay, and Draymond. But the Warriors, I believe, they will win the championship this year. But in order to do so, I mean, Draymond Green will have to be a team player and lay low, produce until the finals, and, help his team get there and be a team player. I mean, yes, the league, in my opinion, still kind of soft, but you got to go with the rules and you got to abide by them. What are your all's thoughts here? Tony, we'll start you.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Draymond or Warriors fan myself. I think he's very dirty, but like what you were saying, I do think the league is very soft. So I think there needs to be like an in between where Draymond, can play, still be very aggressive and still be, deadly on the court.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, he's not going to be a team player. He's not a team player right now with, him being dirty and, he's being more of a liability, by not being there and by possibly costing them games, from stupid fouls that he causes. So he needs to find an in between, in order for him to really be better, and for the whole team to be better, because they really do rely on Draymond and his aggressiveness and his defense in order for him to, in order for them to win.
Yeah.
But right now, it sounds like his ego's in the way. And if his ego's in the way, then, you can't expect him to make it to the championship or at least win it.
Nope. Tristan?
Yeah, I think we can all agree on the points that you guys both made, that he is a dirty player. And I think he needs to swallow his pride a little bit and be more of a team player. And, it's not just Steph Curry and Klay Thompson that makes up that whole team that helps them win. It's everybody, from the front court to the back court to the bench, all the way up to the general manager's office. It takes everybody. And when one guy's missing out of that little chemistry bubble there, bad things are going to happen. And Draymond Green has, he's been on every single one of the championship teams the last few years since Steph Curry came along. So, he just needs to swallow his pride. And even if the league is a lot softer than it was, 20, 30 years ago, everyone's got to adapt, not just him. So he's got to swallow his pride and be more of a team player, in my opinion.
Yeah, or swallow those elbows he takes during the game that he also gives out. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, Next up, we'll go ahead and head to the MLB, and we'll talk Trevor Bauer, kind of in the same situation. Gets the 2-year suspension. Things were kind of kinky there, fellas. Consensual acts of choking and other things. I mean, I'm not really going to go into that. I'm no expert, but something seems to be fishy here. Right now, it's a he said, she said kind of thing. MLB should have waited until it was over to make a decision. But, let him play right now. Let him get his anger out on the field, throw that ball, do something other than be pinned up in his house and get super emotional and throw out tweets and do interviews and whatnot. I mean, it's a guy who needs to take it out on the mound and get it out there where I think he gets a lot done. But, 2 years, though, after he's already kind of sat out for a year this last year and kind of during COVID as well. Tristan, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I mean, we've seen crappy situations like this take place before. For example, the whole Josh Gordon dilemma with the weed and everything. I mean, I don't think he deserved as long of a suspension as he did, even though he couldn't stay clean enough to take a clean test. But back to the Trevor Bauer situation, with us, it kind of sucks because we don't know the whole story, and as a lot of people probably don't know the whole story. Like you said, Wes, it's a he said, she said kind of situation. And it sucks more for Trevor Bauer, I think, because, he is on that, he is on a level to where he makes a crap load of money every year to throw a ball around. So, it could be her just trying to get money out of him. It could be a bunch of different things. But to answer the question, I don't think 2 years is. I think 2 years is a little bit extreme, and I think they just jumped the gun a little bit too quickly on that.
See, you say Josh Gordon. I kind of lean more towards the Tyreek Hill incident in Kansas City, where it did end up being the woman there in his relationship, and they got things patched up. They got things patched up, and everything worked out well there. And now he's down in Miami. So, Tony, your thoughts?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, this is what needs to happen. So one of two things. So one, let's not suspend this guy. Let him pitch throughout, this case, these allegations. But let's say if in the court of law, they find out that this guy actually did the things that she's accusing him of doing, the guy is, suspended for life. I don't think that people like that should be in the league. They should not have the privilege to throw a ball for millions of dollars. So those people should not be in the league whatsoever. They should not be in professional sports to be idolized. So, that's what I think should happen. But in the meantime, let the guy play. Let these allegations, let the court handle it. If the court finds it that he is actually guilty or innocent, run with that, but to me, like, to suspend a guy before actually knowing if any of this is true, there's been plenty of cases, Sean Oakman, Tyreek Hill, there's countless and countless cases of stuff like this going on. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, that's another one that's in the media right now. There's plenty of things to take into consideration, that those people do need to face their consequences if it's true, but it's the same for the people making the accusations if it's not true.
Hey, it wasn't a mega pint. It wasn't a mega pint. It was just a glass.
Oh,
half empty, half full. So go off the pun there. But anyway, now we head into the NFL and we talk another suspension, and that suspension is the one of Arizona's Deandre Hopkins. Never once tested positive for PEDs and whatnot going on there. I mean, he's surprised. I'm surprised. The NFL's surprised. Are you guys surprised? I mean, do you think he stays suspended when he appeals here? I don't really think that he did do anything terrible. And it was a doctor that prescribed these things from what I've read as well. So I don't know how true that story is. But, Tony, what are your thoughts here on Deandre?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bad situation. There's a lot of things that you can go to your, local GNC, and there's a lot of things that are on that, on that banned list. So if you take it, it's going to be, it'll make you ineligible or even get suspended or, kicked out, depending on how many times it's happened to you. So it's a bad deal. I can't say whether or not, he did it on purpose or didn't. But with him saying that, his doctor prescribed it, should he have done a little bit better job about finding out whether he could or couldn't take it? Yes, but if it's not something that he needed, something the doctor says he actually needed, it's his health or his job, so it's a bad situation to be in overall. hopefully it gets it appealed, and there's not much to it. There's plenty of time between now and the season.
Yeah.
Maybe it just gets dropped, and they're like, okay, you're good.
Tristen, agree?
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually super surprised because I was reading up about it a little bit, and I believe he tested positive for the PEDs in November, but tested negative both in October and December. So within that 1 month period, he took something that he wasn't really supposed to, and ended up getting popped for it. So I think he should appeal it. And I think he has a really good chance. I think he has a really good chance of winning the appeal because, as far as I can see, it was just a crappy mistake that he fell into. And there, like Tony said, there was probably something very small in whatever he drank or ate that ended up, giving him the positive test. So
yeah,
the question here is he going, with these PEDs that they're saying that is in his system, I mean, he's not going to have 300 yards receiving every single game. So I don't see how it's such a big deal, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't understand it. And kind of like the NBA, the NFL is just as something as the NBA is, especially when it comes to PEDs and their too aggressive hits or whatever you may call it. I think it's honestly ridiculous that he's even in the situation.
Tony?
Yeah, well, another thing that's on the restricted list, at least in the NCAA, is caffeine.
Yeah.
So somebody drinks too many sodas or drinks too many, Monsters, Red Bulls, whatever.
Coffee.
They have to go and take a test.
Yeah.
If there's too much caffeine in their system, I mean, that's also considered, they have a room to stand on to suspend you as well. But, in my opinion, I mean, these guys, they're professionals. Even if they were taking, let's say, steroids or, actual performance enhancement drugs, I mean, if they're not fighting, if they're not physically, like, actually punching each other or kicking each other, I don't see the issue with these guys taking steroids. I want to see Superman and the Hulk and, whoever else out there, performing, yes, I mean,
a whole nother issue there, a whole nother issue, but we'll end on that. We'll go there. But good points as well. We can discuss steroids next week. Don't let me forget, because there's a big issue there in all sports in general. I mean, don't even get me started on baseball. So
we want to see homers.
Yep, we do. No joke. Sore subject in sports, by the way, if you're not familiar.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll go ahead and continue in the NFL, and we talk Chiefs. And first, I want to say congratulations to Brett Veach. Well done in the draft and free agency. Adios, Tyreek Hill. And hello, Sky Moore, Justin Ross, Scantling, Juju, McDuffie, Cook, Josh Williams, Kennard coming in. I mean, these are all a result of the Tyreek Hill trade and positions that fell due to other reasons that teams didn't pursue any other positions because, they didn't need that receiver down in Miami, which led to other things happening on the board and getting these guys in there. So I really like what they did, who they have brought in. It's going to be a culture change. It's going to be a younger team. You still got a good bit of veteranship in there. And so, you know what? On top of it all, they still have cap room. I'm very impressed with that. And I really like it. But now they do need to do one more thing, and that's lock up Ingram in that locker room. Have him come in and be that tone setter again, get that young defense going, get them going and clicking and doing what they need to do like he did last year when he came in and they went on that winning streak towards the end of the season, helped them get home field advantage for the playoffs yet again. even with that little bit of a Titans loss there too. And, I do think the Chiefs are ready again, and I do think they did a great job, and there's still some work to be done. So kudos to them. What are your guys' thoughts on this here? With that being said, on the Tyreek Hill, do you think the Chiefs finally won that trade, or do you still think Hill won the trade? We'll start Tristan, then go Tony.
I definitely think the Chiefs are definitely on a upwards trend right now. They lose one player, but are able to get a handful more. So they're padding the wide receiver room, and losing a caliber player like Tyreek Hill, you need a lot more players to be able to back up that kind of talent that just left Kansas City to the Miami Dolphins. So kudos to them. I think they've won this offseason so far.
It's good. Tony?
Yeah, I think on paper, I think they definitely won the trade.
Yeah.
It's obviously the season's way too far. There's a whole summer ahead of us, for them to, get better or get injured. There's a whole lot of what ifs. So ultimately, I can't say whether it was, it was good at the end of the day. Hindsight's 2020, but I think on paper, yes, I think the Chiefs did very well.
And overall, on paper, what Veach has done has turned out to be well. I think he's only had 2 busts out of this whole draft class thing that he's been doing over the last few years. So that's pretty good on him, and pretty impressive run for him as well. All of his guys fit in. Only a couple of them have gotten injured, and one of them's just been a complete bust. So kudos again. And I like it on paper, and I really hope it does transfer over in the season, like you said. I mean, that's the big difference. Can they make it through the preseason? Can they get through camps and whatnot without getting hurt? And then can they be successful in the season? So, yeah, a lot of good points. Definitely looking forward to it as a Chiefs fan. Steelers look good, by the way. Raiders look good for you there. They did pretty well. And then for you, Tristan, Cowboys got some guys, and I think they'll be playmakers too. So, and lastly, in the NFL, we talked Tyrann Mathieu. Signs that 3-year, $33 million deal, and gets that done with the Saints after the draft happened. And, well, he joins fellow teammate and Dan Sorensen, and I bet he's getting a lot of looks now from Tyrann Mathieu, like, how did I end up with this guy again? I really don't know. But I think it's a semi-aggressive move. I like where the Saints are heading. What are your all's thoughts on this? Tyreek Hill, I know you don't like him, Tony, but he is a good tempo setter for a team.
Tyreek Hill or Tyrann Mathieu? I like Tyrann Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu, sorry. My apologies.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's not really that I don't really like him. Ultimately, I just think he's super overhyped. He didn't really do anything crazy this last season and the season before. I think he's scared to hit people. I know his job isn't easy, but I don't know. I'm not. I think he's average at best. I think he brings an energy.
Yes.
I think he brings an energy, around him that some people can definitely succeed in. But I don't think as a player he's anything special.
No,
so,
I mean, I guess the one thing I really do like is he's returning kind of home, so that would be a plus for him.
Yeah.
Tristan?
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on this one. I think it was a good move by the Saints to pick him up to kind of pad that defense a little bit, but at the same time, a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't like Tyrann Mathieu is because he blows coverages.
He does.
He blows coverages, and he cannot. He's not very good at staying with his man one-on-one. He gets beat often. The only thing that I would say that he's really good at is zone coverage. He's not really good at picking apart defenses like a safety should. So in my personal opinion, I think it was a good move for the Chiefs to get rid of him. But at the same time, I think he would fit in a lot better with the Saints.
Yeah. All right, fellas, we'll switch out here and go back to fighting. In our last topic at hand, we talked Canelo, the fight this weekend. He'll be going up against Bivol, and, It will be his first match going up in 2020, I believe, is what I heard. And, Canelo, 57, 1-2, 39 knockouts. And Bivol boasts a 19-0 record with 11 of those knockouts. This could be a fantastic fight. I mean, both of these guys, from what I've seen, what I've heard, are cold-blooded, both poised in the ring. I mean, they kind of just make it look easy sometimes. And I feel like what I've seen, they are both dedicated to the sport, and both are considered to be generational fighters. So, Tony, what are your thoughts here going into this fight, and who you have winning here this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously pulling for Canelo. Canelo has a lot of experience.
Okay.
You know, he's the last few fights that he's won, he's won them in very, very, very good fashion. These guys, he's facing, they're top, world-class fighters, and he's making them look bad. This guy's going to be a little bit bigger. I don't think it's going to be very easy. But
did he go up in weight class?
Yeah, so he's actually won. Canelo has won, belts in multiple divisions. I want to say three or four divisions.
Okay.
So he's very, very good. I would say the best that there is right now. But yeah, I mean, he's giving up a little bit of height, a little bit of weight, natural weight. And I think what's going to happen, I think Canelo is probably just going to hunt his body and just torture him. I think he'll drop him the 8th or 9th round.
Okay. So you got Canelo. Tristen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to pull for Canelo mostly because I don't know a whole lot about the other guy. But going off what Tony said, the other guy being a bigger guy, if anyone really knows the fight game, they know that size doesn't matter. But when it comes to Canelo fighting, him being a shorter guy, I think is going to work more to his advantage, because Canelo really likes getting in the zone, or not the zone, but getting close to auto zone. There you go. No, he likes getting in the clinch with guys and really just hammering at the body. So, with that being said, the guy being a bigger guy, I think that works less in his advantage and more into Canelo's advantage, because Canelo's really good at sneaking in there and getting some punches off into the body, to the face. He's got a mean hook on both ends, left and right hooks. So yeah, I've got Canelo in this one, and I think I might predict that he may drop him a little bit earlier than what Tony said.
You see this fight getting rowdy at all?
No.
It's pretty rowdy.
And we will now head into the local sports update, brought to you by Trackside Burgers. Go check them out today and get the fried gator burger. And, we'll start with Webb City. They will be on the road Thursday against Republic. Games begin at 4:30, and then they will return home Saturday against Joplin, beginning at 4:30 as well. Joplin will also be on the road before they play Webb City, as they play Thursday at Willard at 4:30 p.m. And then we have Carthage. They will hit the road Thursday to take on Ozark, and Saturday they will take on Aurora at 10:30 a.m. and Lebanon at 1 p.m. And then next we have Neosho. They will head to Nixa Thursday at 4:30. And lastly, we have Carl Junction. They will head to Branson Thursday at 4:30 and will return home Saturday to play. Just muted myself there, but play host to, I believe, indeed, yes, Parkview and Seneca. So be looking out for that. And we will head to the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria, coming to Webb City this month. I believe this next weekend, indeed. And, this week in the 2-minute warning, Southern baseball team will head to Pitt State to play in the MIAA postseason tournament. Game 1 will begin on Friday at 6 p.m. Game 2 will be Saturday at 3 p.m. and Game 3 will be Sunday at 1 p.m. As for softball, Missouri Southern and Pitt State, as Pitt State did not make it actually I misread that, but Missouri Southern will be playing this weekend as well. So stay tuned for that. And, well, of course, all these games and events are pending to weather and the current fluid COVID-19 situation. So tune in to each team's social media pages for times and updates.
And you can catch us on any of these. And, well, the music is here. So it's the end of another episode. And for Tony, Tristan, and myself, have a great and safe weekend. Thunderstorms in the forecast. So and try to enjoy some baseball. We'll hope that Sunday, if games get rained out on Friday and Saturday. But go see some of these teams as they head into postseason play. And lots of sports action going on here this weekend to wrap things up for everybody. So hope you guys can make it to an event. And stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
See you.